Hello and welcome to Anatomy of Us, a show dedicated to bringing real help to real couples. I'm your host, Melanie Studley.
What's up, guys? My name is Seth Studley. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and together we are high-performance marriage coaches.
We are cutting through the bullcrap and creating a movement of happy, healthy, badass couples all over the world.
Let's go!
This episode contains explicit language that is not very good for tiny ears. So if you're with your kids, put your headphones on. Take it away, Mom and Dad. It's time for the show. Let's go.
All right, diving right in. Melanie kind of knows what we're going to talk about, but I'm leading the charge. Thank you, guys. Welcome to the show. If you haven't checked out our other episodes, if you're new today, we have like 500 other episodes that we talk about a whole bunch of shit that's going to help your marriage. So,
Not shit.
well, it's good S in that way, right? Like, oh, this is the shit. Is that kind of stuff. So go check it out. Thank you so much. And also, right now, if you're not driving, hit pause, rate and review the show. Give us a 5-star rating if you like this, if this is helpful. Thank you so much.
Hit pause should be how you high five your dog. Hit pause.
Oh, okay,
It's so cute.
that's pretty good.
Oh.
I just look back in my Instagram memories, and there was a minute where I like got a bunch of cool Nikes and like nice, crisp, fresh new shoes. And I was like taking pictures of it, and then one of them was Doug's paws right there.
I remember that.
It was really funny.
Oh, Doug.
Yeah, it was cute. Like
I
these
love that.
nice little white furry
Little
paws.
tootsies.
So today we're talking about, and I have to title this later, but it is the concept of dudes.
The title. We already have the title.
What is it?
I'm afraid of my wife.
I'm afraid of my wife. Okay. We already got the title. I'm afraid of my wife. So for guys, I talk to a lot of guys about this, and it's exciting because I can talk to those dudes about it because I also experienced this hardcore. So much so, we were with a renowned marriage and family therapist. She's been on our show a bunch, Dr. Tina Shermer-Sellers, and she is great. She is a licensed PhD in marriage and family therapy, been practicing for like a grillion years. And we were having a conversation. Actually, this is recorded, so you can go back and listen to it. I don't know what number it is.
It'd be hard to find it, but yeah.
It'd be really hard to find it. But we were talking, and I was like, yeah, but...
Actually, it wouldn't be hard. If you want to find it, you can go to Anatomy. You could just Google
You can search
Anatomy of Marriage, Dr. Tina Shermer-Sellers. And I think it was our therapy when we did therapy with her.
Yes, with her. We recorded the shows and all this stuff. But I was like, oh yeah, but Melanie is just this way. And I had an upper limit problem in my own brain where I didn't believe what Melanie was saying based on her past action. Say like the years when she was a mega bee, and I'd be like, okay, I want to go do something. And you say, okay, fine. And then time comes for me to do it. I would catch real hell for like doing that thing. Then I would feel guilty of like, well, I thought that I could go do this thing, whether it was hunting or like going snowboarding with my buddies or going fishing alone or going to a movie or all this stuff. Perfectly normal stuff, which a guy or woman should be able to do and not feel guilty,
At reasonable levels
condemned,
and all that
resented
jazz.
for any, reasonable levels, anything like this. Like, I want to go, and I haven't seen it yet.
Nobody's stopping you, man. I've told you
Top
to go
Gun.
like 3 different times to see
Top
Top
Gun.
Gun. It's going to be out of theaters before you...
I know, but I really want to see it in theaters, right?
Go,
So I was thinking about going and seeing it today when I took your car to get a new stereo.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had a really hard time like believing that based on your actions of like, oh, she says I can
My
do
past
this.
actions, yeah.
And then I really pay the price when I get home, right? So there is a real valid reason why I still feel reserved in not doing these things, right? And I think that we were past some of this stuff, but that residual feeling was just there. And even Tina, again, top of the top in her field of marriage and family therapy, tons of experience, tons of wisdom, tons of insight, looked me dead ass in the face and said, Seth, why are you scared of her? She's not
doing this anymore.
She's not doing this. She's not crazy. She's not a monster. And I was just like, I don't know.
Right.
And it was an upper limit
But
problem.
I will say, sorry to interrupt, but if you're new to the show and you don't know our story, I was crazy and I was a monster. So he had all the, in quotes, he had all the reasons to have that like internal fear of like, in the past, she said it was okay for me to go out with my buddies, and then I did it, and then she yelled at me for 3 hours when I got home.
Right. So
he did have that.
None of that was worth it.
past.
I'd be like, fuck it. I'm not going to go see a movie. I don't want to get yelled at, right? So Tina was asking me this, and I didn't have an answer for her. And whenever somebody asks me something like that and I don't have an answer, that is my trigger to go find the answer.
Mm-hmm.
It must be inside you, because outside the stimuli is not happening and hasn't happened for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You have other people you respect saying, "What's up, man? What's cracking here? Why are you still in that mode of thinking?" Right? So anytime, which that's happened several times, like with our other therapist, what was his name? Alex. With Cody, our coach, with other dudes in the mastermind group.
Doesn't happen to me.
Ego knocking at your door much?
Yes, come on in. Well-balanced human being here.
Ego means edging God out, by the way.
I am God!
Whoa, okay. Nice try. But anyway, that was the trigger of like, all right, Seth, what's going on in here, dude? What is your upper limit problem? Where are you holding yourself back? And why do you have the fear of testing it? So part of this is, hey, Melanie, I want to go see Top Gun when it makes sense, right? I'm not going to abandon you and, kids are screaming and, in the middle of the week, whatever. That doesn't make sense, right? Hey, Melanie, I want to go see Top Gun maybe on Saturday or Sunday, maybe when the kids are at grandma's or something. I mean, it'll work out. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I want to jump on that and go see it. If I have to go alone and see it, that's fine. You're definitely invited. I want you to go. But if you don't want to, that's cool too. But I want to go. Now, how reasonable is that? A request. It's 1,000 times reasonable, right? If you said, hey, my friend is coming in town, or not even a friend, like, hey, I've been wanting to get a pedicure or a manicure for a long time. It's $100 or whatever. How much they cost? $100? Okay.
Asking the wrong lady.
Whatever. It's something I'm going to do. You think I can do that? I'd be like, abso-effing-lutely. Of course. Of course. And that is not a thing. Even if it puts me out for a minute, I'm like, yeah, fine, go. But the thing that I have experienced personally, and I have clients experience this, and I have other dudes in the mastermind and other friends who experience this, they don't believe their wives. So from your perspective, so what I had to do was just do those things. Like, okay, I'm going to, look at the landscape. Does this make sense in the context of where we are right now, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially even? Okay, yep, makes context. Okay, is this reasonable? Yeah, it's reasonable. Are other things shored up and okay? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like if it would be unreasonable for me to go, hey, I want to go see, I want to go out to lunch by myself and see Top Gun, but we haven't been on a date for 3 months. Oh, you can find the time to go see a movie by yourself, but you can't make a date for me? That's weird. That illustrates that something is askew, right? So again, all the context is laid out, all here. What I was struggling with and what guys struggle with is like believing their wives sometimes and then allowing myself to do that and not feel guilty, if that makes sense. Because guys, oftentimes, and I'm speaking for myself and a handful of other dudes I've talked to, I feel bad if I know that I'm doing something for myself to a degree that puts you out. Like, okay, when I go to the movies and the kids are just shits and I get home and hear about it, I'm like, oh, now I feel guilty for going to the movie. But are you telling me that the kids were shits and it was hard because you want to make me feel bad that I went to a movie and like, oh, you should have been here? No. Or are you just sharing like, it was kind of hard, Like, how would you feel if you're like, hey, Seth, I kind of feel weird about this and guilty, but I'm going to do it and step out in faith. I want to go get a pedicure and it takes like 2 hours and I want to go and do it. I'm like, okay, fine. Totally cool. Go do it, right? Maybe I'm not jumping up and down for joy. Like, I'm so glad you're going to leave. But I'm like, you know what? Legit, it's fine. Go do it. And then you come home and go, oh, how'd things go? I'm like, it was hell. Right. Like, how would that make you feel? Would it be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have gone? or whatnot? Or would you go, oh, that's too bad?
I think there's a way. I think I want to bring a alternate answer because it's almost like you're.
So because this is how guys think. So I'm asking, how would a woman think? Like, okay, you go out for a pedicure, 2 hours.
Here's why I'm saying you can't just say, how would a guy think? How would a woman think? Because there are lots of women who would be very mad regardless of what the outcome was. Regardless of you went to a movie, they said you could go, the kids were total a-holes. Some women would be like, I'm going to show him how much this sucked. I'm going to let him know. There are women like that. So I can't answer for all women. And so this is how I'm going to answer.
Okay.
The healthiest version of this looks like ... That's the way I'm going to think of it.
I like
so
it.
I'm going to take the whole scenario of you want to go see Top Gun. It puts, I, let's say, don't want to go or can't go or we don't have a babysitter or something, but you really want to go. And so you ask me, but you have like a hesitation.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, absolutely. Hold on.
What? We're recording.
Yeah, it's our job.
Making money. Scram.
Anyway.
Leaving that in.
So if you said, I want to go see Top Gun, but you were really hesitant because you thought I was going to say no,
Right.
and then you went, and then the kids were just terrible. Again, this is, what does the healthiest version look like? So it's, if you come home and I say, hey, how was the movie? And you tell me about the movie. And then you say, how was your time when I was gone? And let's say it was really terrible. Like it was really hard. So-and-so got in a fight and the kids barfed on the dog. I don't know.
Kids are throwing up on dogs now?
Yeah, it just happens.
That's weird.
It was like when Hattie covered her mouth and her vomit projectiled across the wall in a line when she was little. That was very funny.
Did you see, maybe you didn't see it because I had mirrors squirted off of the deck. Doug barfed the most barf I've ever seen. Yesterday.
Oh, gosh.
It was huge and it was gross.
Sorry if you're eating or like smelling food right now. I really apologize.
Anyway.
Hattie's barf had macaroni in it and it slid down the wall.
Gross.
In like a line. She covered her mouth and then made it like a hose. She made it hose pipe out, Okay. Like that. Anyway.
Continue, please.
So I'm trying to communicate to you. And here's what I would say. If this is us now,
Yes.
this is what I would be like. Hey, I'm really glad that you had a good time. I'm super glad that you liked the movie. I'm not complaining at all, but when you were gone, the kids were just crazy. It was so crazy and it was really challenging, but I'm still glad that you went.
You would say that.
Yeah. How would you feel if I said that?
That would be very reassuring, right? And in this, I don't want husbands who were in my predicament to go, oh, yeah, okay, well, I could do it if they would speak to me just like Melanie did, right? Because here's the thing. Any behavior change, any paradigm shift, any first or second order change, therapy speak, begins with you. Like if I come to you with
it begins with C. Change, not you. It's a different letter.
Be the change you want to see. If I come to you with a meekness and like, hey, I know.
You're probably going to be mean to me later.
No. I wouldn't say anything like that. It's just like so weak ass, just weak sauce. Hey, there's this movie. I mean, I don't have to if it's whatever, but it would be cool.
Oh, you know what?
No, listen.
No,
it would be. You're interrupting me.
Listen to me.
All right.
Listen to that. Was
so
that funny?
Cute when you burp.
So let me say this, because a lot of women, one of the things that frustrates them is that there isn't an acknowledgement that something is challenging. So even the acknowledgement. So if you just said, if I came to you and I was like, you don't want to be weak, a weak ass, weak sauce, whatever, right? There is power in simply acknowledging that it's hard to watch the kids alone. I love you. Is this okay? If it's not okay, I won't go. But if I could go see the movie in theaters, I would really love that. And I see how hard you work. Thank you. Can we do this as a team? Right? That goes way farther than this like, well, I know you're like
That's
busy.
what I'm saying. So it's an acknowledgement first of you. Hey, you're valuable. The work you do is great. And then it is a very crystal clear statement of what I want. Now, what do, in our years of talking to zillions of people and in our own relationship, what is more attractive? Being a weak ass bitch or saying, hey, I know what I want. Let me tell you what I want. And if it works out for you, great. I'm cool either way. I'm not going to fall apart.
Right.
Which one is better, is more attractive, and always gets me what I want?
Health. The
Which one?
The strong version.
The latter one, right? Rather than, hey, there's this thing that I really want to do, and it would be cool, right? So I'm being kind of ambiguous. I'm saying what it would be, like, oh, it'd be great. So what I'm asking for is perpetually like, oh, do I have permission from you because I can't make a decision myself, kind of thing. Like,
well, it's like think of it like in a business, right? Like you need two strong business partners. Your business partners running the business of your marriage and the business of your family and all of that stuff.
Right.
And I remember there have been times in the past where like you would want to do something with the kids and you would ask like in this baby weird way.
Right.
And I'm like, what are you doing? I didn't say that to you, but the feeling that I was feeling was like, why are you acting like, one, you don't have like the authority as a husband to do these things with your own children. Go ahead and do them, but don't talk to me like, well, will your day hard if I take kids skiing?
It's like a little squid.
All I can think of is that game the kids play.
It's calamari, right? So the difference between, hey, there's this thing, it would be cool if I don't have to, but that is just, I mean, like that guy that I told you about, Jake Woodward, you know, he really talks about masculine and feminine stuff and how they interact and all kinds of stuff. It's just like it plays off of each other.
Sadhguru talks about the
constantly.
masculine and the feminine.
Yeah, so that's awesome. It's no foreign concept, right? Compared to I could, but I don't have to. That's just like indecisiveness all over it. I'm just like melting with indecision kind of thing. Rather than, and I remember, and I've said this example before, I had that old-fashioned feeling. I wanted to have sex, right? And in the past, I'd be like, hey, you want to, fool around or whatnot? Just like super lame. I want
to be with you.
Right, like super lame, right? Compared to, and this sticks out in my mind, it's happened more than once, but I was just very explicit, like, yo, girlfriend, you got it going on. I would love to have sex with you tonight. I'm going to go upstairs, stretch, kind of like listen to some meditation stuff, and I'm inviting you to it. It would be awesome. But you know what? If you're not feeling it, that's fine too. I'll just go to sleep. Either one. Love you. Hopefully see you soon. Whatever. What was more inviting? Like my intentions, was there any doubt in what I wanted to do?
No.
Was there any fear of like, oh, if I don't do it, then he'll be butthurt and all weird?
No, that's the other thing I was gonna say is you're taking ownership for it. Like you're saying right out of the gate, if this doesn't happen, I'm totally fine. Which is so counterintuitive for meek men that if they're like, I really want to go to this concert and I don't know. And then if you as a wife are like, no, we don't have the money. Oh, well, right. You're just like Eeyore all the time on everything. And then it makes the wives responsible for like, well, if I say no, he's going to be a pissy baby for the rest of the whatever.
So one of my favorite bands, Swedish Viking metal, they're coming to...
That's not the name of the band. It's
America,
Amon Amarth.
Amon Amarth, right? Again, and you know that I like them. And there was really, I mean, that was a super easy decision. I was like, I can't wait till they come. And then I told you it was the best day ever because they announced their U.S. tour dates, right? Of course, they're coming to Seattle. And I was like, hey, I really want to go to this concert. It's cool. And you're like, yeah, of course. And so I got VIP tickets and it's awesome, right? And they're like $200 for one ticket. But it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So there was no, my game was strong, right? Okay. So women find a strong game. Like I just think of like Kev on Stage and Aries and that whole crowd, we talked to. They're like, they like it when their men are like, yep, I know what's going on.
Right.
Even like all the dudes on Love on Stage, like we watched all the applicants, right? Some of them were like, that dude, he doesn't have, he ain't got it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then the other guys were like, whoa, dude's an attorney. He knows what he's want. He's super articulate. This is great.
Right.
It's like, I liked him.
Yeah.
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like, oh,
There's
that
an
dude-
energy of like, I
an
will
energy.
be okay with whatever. Like I will be fine
Right.
whether I can go to a Monomarth or not, whether I can go and get nosebleed tickets or whether I can pay
I wouldn't
for
be fine. I'd be disappointed.
Well, but
that doesn't mean you fall apart.
you actually would be fine if that's all you could get.
Well, yeah.
So no, not well. Okay. Not everyone has your ability to process the complexities of that. So some people are like, okay, remember that person we saw not that long ago when we were all hanging out with people and something didn't work? He went to do a thing and we were...
Matt Carter.
No, let's just say it was
Toby
Matt Carter.
Morrell.
Let's say it was Matt Carter.
Devin Shelton
Devin Shelton tried to...
from South Carolina.
Oh my God.
I'm naming all my
I know what you're doing, but remember that person tried...
Paul Vetter from Orlando.
Try.
Jupiter. Okay, sorry.
He tried to, I'm going to use a nonsensical thing, tried to blow up a
Yes.
tire.
I know who you're talking
And
about.
he got mad and in front of everybody threw this thing down.
That was weak.
It was unreal to watch because that was like, oh, this thing that is like the most insignificant pile of
That
shit.
beat him.
Beat you. It beat you. And so you, Seth, if you could only have gotten the farthest back corner exit row of the farthest back thing at Amon Amarth, it wouldn't have beat you. If that's all you could have got, you'd been like, yeah, I'm going to see Amon Amarth.
Right.
But here's the cooler thing. You would have figured out how to get front stage. That's not even a word. Front stage? Front.
Make my own luck.
Front. So that's what I'm talking about. Like all of this stuff. So going back to this idea of I'm afraid of my wife. I think one of the things that happens is men who end up being afraid of their wives typically have really badass wives. And I don't mean mean. They usually have really strong wives and very like, sometimes they're just like, they run their mouths wives. Sometimes they have wives that don't know how to like actually be kind. And that's a reason that they're afraid of their wife. But sometimes I have found that it's because they have really, really smart, fast thinking wives. And again, that can be a problem if you're like I used to be, smart, fast thinking, and a total bitch. It's like a bitch with jet fuel on. And you're just, you're flattening everybody around you. And like, I don't know why Seth's afraid of me. And it's like, you're a freaking...
A bitch with jet fuel.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was a lot of the time, especially if you made me mad or if I was just in a bad mood and you did something that I agreed to yesterday, but today is today, mother effer. And now I'm mad right
part
now.
Of that, right. So part of that also reflects like what type of man it is. So me holding you accountable, like, okay.
You said you'd be okay with this.
You said this. I did it. You're losing your brain. Well, it's because, okay, hey, I get it.
Right.
I get it. But that is driving me bonkers.
Right. And
you can't do that anymore. So part of it, what we allow, we endure. So if I said, hey, tomorrow at 12, I'm going to see this thing. Hey, tomorrow at 12, we're going to have scrambled eggs. Hey, tomorrow at 12, we're going to go on a hike. Tomorrow at 12 always comes around and you lose your mind. I can go, oh, well, okay. Or I can say, all right, woman, I love you. I want to make this work. Let's do this. But when I say these things, I am trusting that this is a normal exchange. Okay?
It sounds a
and
lot
over
like...
and over, it's not. I'm not going to participate in that anymore. And if you say something, I am going to go, okay, I have full permission. We're on the same page. I am going to do it. And I am not going to be concerned with your crazy ass feelings after that because it's crazy.
Right.
Now, if something goes sideways, just normally, like, oh, I went to this thing and then it made me 5 hours late. Oh, shit. I'm sorry for that. We made a mistake. But on the whole, it's like, come on, let's go. So part of it is me having to convince myself of that and saying, all right, I don't care what comes after this. She said I could. We're agreed to this. I'm doing it.
Let me say a thing I want to say.
Not scared anymore.
So this sounds an awful lot like becoming, drumroll please, a power couple.
Yes.
And this idea is like, especially as it pertains to things like in the past where I said you could go to a concert and then guess what always happened?
Becoming a what?
Power couple. That was funny. Very well done.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
just
you
glad
guys.
that the volume was on.
Thank you.
But so becoming a power couple. And in the past, like you would say, hey, I'm going to this thing, or I'm going to go see our friends, or we said we were going to go to a football game, whatever it is. And I would forget. So at the time that we agreed upon it, I was like, yeah, well, no big deal. And then it didn't get put into a calendar. I certainly didn't remember because I didn't give two craps when you said it the first time, but it rolls back around and I'm in a foul mood. Well, guess who's going to suffer?
Me.
The ding dong who said we should go somewhere that I'm not thinking of right in this moment.
Yeah, the ding dong.
So what I immediately think of is like, if we had, man, if only there was someone who made planners to help people have more success in this area and to be a power couple where nothing bothers you. Yes. Thank you. No one knows why
Power
you're
couple. The power couple planner.
Yes. So
Stay tuned.
That is something I am currently working on. But listen to me. If you have a wife that you're afraid of, but you put into your power couple planner, hey, remember you said I could go see Amon Amarth and you said that I could get these, up close and personal tickets or whatever
Pictures
they're called.
with the band, you mean? Who's going to do that?
You said that I could do these things. You agreed. And look, it's in our power couple planner. I, as a wife, looking at this power couple planner that we did together, am going to be very hard pressed to be like, well, this doesn't count now because I'm mad now. And well, I did agree to it. And this planner is supposed to help us in all ways.
We put everything in
Did you just say, okay, sorry, go ahead. I thought you were trying to say that you created power couple. I was going to rip your throat out.
Please. Bitch, please.
Okay. So we put everything into our shared calendar?
In our Google shared calendar, right?
Google.
We have a shared calendar that has everything from client appointments to TV guest appearances to podcasts
to if I'm going
dinner.
If I'm going on a walk with my friend.
Right.
It's all in there.
Everything. Okay. I even have a former client who is now in the Badass Husband Mastermind group, badasshusband.com, by the way, who puts stuff in their shared calendar and then puts the time and date that they put it in there.
Oh,
so say,
that's so smart.
Hey, Amon Amarth, December 12th, Seattle. Oh,
we agreed
I
to
put,
it.
I put that in there. And then I put it in the calendar on July, when the tickets go on sale, July 14th. So I put this in there. I put this future date in there on July 14th.
That's cool.
We talked about it, entered it in there. So there's
accountability,
reminder.
yeah.
There's accountability. It's not like, oh, okay, I'm going to zing my crazy wife because she doesn't remember anything. It's, hey, we actually, and I put it in there. Oh, you didn't tell me last minute. I actually put it in there 3 weeks ago.
Right.
And then the reminder came up on your phone. Okay. So I don't know. You're mad. You're mad. Hey, you're mad. I love you.
Ain't my baby screaming.
I mean, you're not going to say that because that might cause another argument, right? But it is for accountability, for consistency, and for being on the same page. So many problems, so many issues can be solved by just being on the same page. Hey, I told you that thing. You agreed. You used to do this all the time. I'm like, hey, is it cool if we go to Seattle next Friday to go to dinner with our friends? Yeah, that'd be cool. And then Thursday comes around.
Well, and here's why.
And you're not in the mood for it. And you're like, can we just tell them no? I'm like, no, we can't.
Back then, we didn't do shared calendars like we do now. And I think that was a huge part of it. Because I couldn't go and look at it and see what. Please don't do that.
Not much to say on this subject.
That's unkind. You're very rude. Our son is calling us, who knows that we're recording. Oh, child. But I honestly think that we didn't have a shared calendar, and because it took me until this year, really, or probably the last year, full year, to use our calendar, our Google Calendar, consistently. I was always trying to have a paper calendar and a electronic calendar, and I could never make it work. It is hard
to have both. I was always paper calendar for years, since high school, paper calendar all the way. And it was great. And then it took me a minute to switch everything over.
Yeah.
I still have a to-do list and stuff like that in the Badass Husband Planner.
That I made.
Hello. Yes, Melanie did make it. And if you're coming to the live event, you get a free one. Wait, that's a surprise.
Oh, shit. Just for the live event is probably happened by the time
it'll hopefully happen by now. But the point is, you have a record book of keeping stuff, a journal, a planner, or a planner, or a kind of consistent thing in the Badass Husband Planner. It has goals that I'm working towards.
Right.
Like, what is the progress? Drucker, I think, or somebody else said, what gets measured gets managed, right? So that's the way to manage stuff, like write down your goals, write down your thoughts, process stuff. But then the shared calendar is, Hattie's got cooking class at X o'clock on this day. kids have taekwondo. I have this. All right, we're on the same page. So it comes up, and it's really wise to like look at the schedule ahead of time. I mean, we're in our calendars every single day.
Right.
Hey, is it cool that we do this? Hey, reminder, the show is this Friday.
Right.
You know?
And here's what, I guess, going back to the heart of the whole topic, I'm afraid of my wife. It's stuff like this, like the more consistently you can show up in all arenas in your marriage with balance, the harder it is for one of you to maintain or continue to be imbalanced. You start to just feel like a ding dong. Like,
right.
And I remember saying that I've said that to many of my, especially my male clients, when it is the wife that loses her shit. And if he decides to join her in the losing their shitness of it all, I'm like, this, I promise you, happens all the time. If she loses her shit first and then he loses his shit and yells, she turns right back around and says, see, you yelled at me. See?
Right.
But she literally started it. And so I tell, hold on. So I tell my husbands, I'll be like, you can't do anything.
Multiple husbands?
Yeah. You can't do, I'll say, you can't do anything. She is welcome to lose her shit. And you let her just lose it. Don't join her. Eventually, she will see how stupid it is.
Right.
And it works. And the planner is a great way of doing that. Like if we both agreed on it, it's right here. Like,
so husbands can lead the charge in that, or wives too. It doesn't matter. But for husbands who feel this way, get a system, work a system.
Yeah.
Create the calendar. Like if I have to take your damn phone and go, here, I just downloaded the Google Calendar app on it. Here's how you use it. And this is what I'm going to use. Tough says, can I walk to the skate park? It's like,
oh geez,
it's a long ways away. No, you can't. What am I saying? Husbands, you can lead that and systematize that and use it as a system, like a routine. Like, what is it called? Automate it.
Yeah.
Automate it. Rob Deerdeck that shit. Automate it.
Right.
Oh, okay. Here's the automation. Anything and everything. Hey, I want to go out of town with the boys. In my other mastermind, I go to Nashville twice a year. I know about probably 6 months ahead of time, right? I'm like, hey, this is going to happen way in October. Well, that's not really far away. But is that cool? I think we don't have anything else going on. Let me get the verbal, like, do you see that working? Because I want to buy the tickets now and all that stuff. Yeah, that should work. Okay. I put it in, I remind you about it, and I don't schedule you or any podcast or anything like that during that time. And maybe I talk to other people to be like, hey, Dawn, your mom, I'm going to be out of, I don't do this. You tell her, I'm going to be out of town, whatever. And that's pretty systematized for us, and right? So if you're scared of your wife or afraid of your wife that way, you do have more power than you think you can, but you have to step into that. And we're giving you very specific. Get a Google Calendar. Do this. Say, hey, it works out on all fronts. Can I do this? Yeah, sure.
Right.
Okay, I'm putting it in here. That trip that I'm going to go on October 10th.
October 10th?
No, I'm just making dates.
Dating anniversary. Sorry, I thought that's what you said.
Our first date was then.
A date. I made you apple turnovers.
I know. They were good. I'm putting it in here July 6th for the October 10th. Okay? Hello?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. It's you have to take the chance to see if it's going to work.
Right. And again, I think that the reason that we talk about systems so much is that systems are neutral. Systems don't give a shit. This table is neutral. It doesn't care what I do to it. It's just a table. It's there.
Right.
And if I can't have a crying fit about this table if we both agreed that it's here and we're setting it here and we write it down and we agree, right? And so to remove emotion from as much stuff as possible, make your choices when you're both in a clear headspace, and then put it into your Power Couple Planner, which should be available for sale soon. But all of that, what were you trying to do? There
was a fly on the desk, so I threw something at it.
I didn't see the fly. But focus, please. But all of that is one way that is very helpful to unafraid you of your wife. But on the flip side of that, ladies, if you are a scary wife, knock that shit off now. It doesn't do anybody any good for you to be a fucking monster every day. Okay. For real.
Hello.
It does not help you. I used to get in everybody's faces and yell about I didn't really get in anyone's faces, but I would get super overwhelmed and yell about how the house wasn't clean and nobody cares about anything and nobody cares but me. Here's a really good insight. Yeah, you're right. No one does care but you. You're the only one who's angry in the mix. If your husband doesn't care about the house being as clean as you do, figure out a happy medium and then systematize that shit. Create to-do lists together. You can do that together. Doesn't need to just be you. You don't need to be bad and mad and upset and mean about it. But there is something to be said for scary wives syndrome. Let's call it that. SWS.
Yeah, that's the syndrome. However, just like Tina was asking me, like, why are you so scared? What is this?
Gross. Sorry.
Just like Tina was asking me, you had gotten over the scary wife.
Yeah.
Piece.
I had been working on
but
it.
It was me that had to take that step, that leap, that leadership kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was all me. 100%.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of ownership on stop being a scary wife. If you were a scary wife and you aren't anymore, but your husband is still afraid of you or has that like meek streak, men, ladies, I want you to encourage him to be bold. So I have done this many times where Seth will be asking me meekly, can I go skiing with the kids? And I have said to you, I remember being like, why are you asking me like they're not your kids? Go, take them. They're yours. Like, yes,
right.
yes. But don't.
I did that because there were times where I did do that. And you say, hey, when you go, you just leave the whole house a mess kind of thing. So that was a little unbalanced. Like, hey, stuff is cool here. I'm going to go take the kids. Work out? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, and now again, the healthy version of that looks like, oh, for sure, you can take the kids skiing. That's perfect. Help me clean for 25 minutes before you leave. Power clean. That is a way to become a power couple, right? So that all is to get, you're going to do it again. We should have theme music like Kevin, Melissa, Love Out. Oh, yeah. We'll do for the power couple.
That'd be good.
We'll have like a song that plays. But so again, apart from women, if you already are scary or you used to be scary, you need to correct that. You need to show up with the repair and the like voice out loud. Hey, I know in the past I used to do this and I'm really sorry. I'm not going to do that to you today. I'm not going to do that. And I know I can sense that you feel that way. I can sense that whatever, and I'm sorry. And I'm not going to do that. You can say that shit just like that. You can, lady right there, you can do that. So don't tell me you can't, because I've done it and I know that you can. On the second part of that though, I want to say, I want to say though to the men, women do not like meek men. They don't like it. The only reason a woman likes a meek man is so she can walk all over him. I know some ladies like that. And I used to be kind of like, well, not quite. I mean, you're Southern. You ain't no meek nothing.
Ooh, thanks.
You can gig a frog.
Can do a lot of stuff.
You can do all sorts of things. It's so great. Oh, you're so sexy. Anyway, what was the thing you were going to say?
Thanks. I want to say that it is in the guy's hands, 100%. I know that sounds bleak. If someone told me that, I'd be like, what the F are you talking about? But then I finally got it. Thankfully, you rose at the same time, all the same tide rises all ships kind of thing. And when I stepped into it, that allowed you to step into it. And same things when you stepped into stuff, that allowed me to step into stuff. So we had a parallel process there, which was awesome and amazing. But there have been times where I have had to go, okay, Seth, get out of your head, bust your own upper limit problem. You're thinking about this way too much. Go fucking do it.
Right.
Fucking do it. Go. Go. And when I do that, literally it always works.
And we become a power couple. Yay!
Come on now. Bring it home. Bring it home. Let's go. Let's go. So you guys, if that is you, please take heed to these words. Try it. Let's talk about it. Email any questions, hello@anatomyofmarriage.com. And also, you get more of this stuff when you're in the Badass Husband Mastermind group, badasshusband.com.
And in women's group coaching.
And in women's group coaching. We have a Discord server. My goal is to get other like-minded men who focus on kicking ass in 5 areas: body, brain, bank, beliefs, and your board, which is your board of directors. If you want to level up on all those things, come and join the group. Get on a phone call with me. It's a monthly fee. You pay to play, but what we pay for, we value. What we invest in, we expect to see return.
I have never wished that we didn't invest the literal tens of thousands of dollars that we invested in ourselves. I've never been like, well, that didn't pay off.
Do you wish you bought like a stock? Now you just be a rich idiot.
That was funny.
Right?
Yeah.
Now we're not idiots and we're rich in everything.
Okay.
Anyway, women's group coaching, go to anatomyofus.com/women's group coaching to get with her. go to badasshusband.com to get with me. Thank you guys. Send in your questions. We love you so much. Also, share this show with your friend. I am personally asking you to hit pause, hit the share button, text this show to a friend if it makes a difference in your life.
Who's the first person that comes to your mind and go, oh, they could listen to that? Just send it to them.
Just send it to them. Don't care.
Yeah, don't be like, oh, should I send
Here's
it
a cool
to 'em?
show. Listen to it.
This might transform your marriage and make your kids happier and your life better.
Exactamundo. So thank you guys so much. We love you. Take care. Have an awesome week.
All right, bye.
Thanks for listening to Anatomy of Us. This podcast is produced by my mom, Melanie Studley, and hosted by my dad, Seth Studley. Our show is edited and published by our producer, Reba Hansen, from Creative Media Support. Special thanks to our Patreon members that get an extra episode every week. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.